Welcome back to the Unseen Hour, folks, and now we're shifting focus a bit because in this chapter, we're going to talk about the tools we use to see the unseen, or try to. I'm talking about tech, audio gear, thermal cameras, trail cams, satellite mapping, because you'd think in a world crawling with smartphones and drones, something like Bigfoot would have a hard time staying hidden.
And yet it doesn't, or if it does so deliberately, almost mockingly, because we've gathered thousands of hours of footage in remote areas. And we still don't have that one crystal clear shot, no definitive video, no uncheckable thermal image, just anomalies, heat blurs, flickers in the frame, and then silence. It's like chasing a ghost made of flesh.
I talked to a hunter up in the Cascades last year, had a full thermal setup, the kind used by professional wildlife biologists. And he said he tracked something for over a mile, massive, bipedal, radiating heat, but never fully visible, and then suddenly it was gone. Not like it hid, like it had never been there, but the weirdest part, he said the thermal imaging glitched completely for 5 seconds, static lines and frozen frames.
That's something I've heard from several researchers, especially those using IR or trail cameras, not just glitches, but outright equipment failure. Batteries drained in minutes, SD cards corrupted, entire files deleted or replaced with white noise. It's almost as if whatever this thing is, it interferes with electronics, not just passively, but intentionally.
That's what unsettles me. The idea that we're not just being outmaneuvered, we're being outthought, that there's a kind of intelligence at work, not just survival instinct, but evasion, strategy. Like it knows how to stay just outside the range of detection, and maybe even chooses when to let us see it.
And when it does allow a glimpse, it's never clean. There's always distortion, always some artifact, like the Patterson-Gimlin film. Arguably the most famous Bigfoot footage ever captured, and still today, with all our enhancement tech, we can't agree if it's real or fake. There's just enough ambiguity, just enough blur.
It makes you wonder if that ambiguity is the point. Like the creature is real, but its nature is uncertainty. Its very existence is conditional, like it needs us to believe in it just enough to keep it alive, but not enough to expose it.
Exactly, and that might be why the tech fails, because it's not just hardware malfunctioning, it's the limits of perception, of interpretation. I've seen trail cam footage where a tree sways when there's no wind, or a shadow moves when nothing casts it, and the timestamps don't add up, missing minutes, as if time itself hiccuped around whatever was moving through.
That's another pattern, and it connects to the Skinwalker episode too, the manipulation of time, or at least our experience of it. People reporting that they've been out in the woods for 30 minutes only to find they've been missing for 3 hours. Or that their watches stopped ticking while they were being watched.
There's a kind of temporal distortion that shows up in both cryptid and paranormal encounters. Like the phenomenon isn't just physical, but dimensional, bleeding into our world from somewhere else. And when it passes through, our tools fail, our clocks stutter, and we're left with more questions than before.
So here's the real question. Sarah, do you think Bigfoot is a physical animal, a relic of some earlier epic we haven't cataloged, or something stranger, something closer to a liminal being, part natural, part supernatural?
I think it's both, or maybe neither. Maybe the need to categorize it is what blinds us to what it actually is. We keep thinking in terms of evidence and proof, but maybe Bigfoot isn't here to be proven. Maybe it's here to remind us of what remains unknown and unmeasurable.
There's something deeply haunting about that. The idea that some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, only acknowledged, respected, maybe even feared a little, because they represent boundaries, not just of nature, but of understanding.
And when those boundaries glitch, when we feel that cold static on the back of our necks, or hear the hum of a presence we can't explain, that's when the real message comes through that we are not alone and never have been.
After the break, we'll be diving into personal testimonies, listener-submitted encounters that stretch from the Appalachian Trail to the Alaskan tundra. And believe me, some of these stories will leave you staring at your windows tonight. This is the Unseen Hour. Stay with us.